Why is it that at age 35, some people are still stressing over their electricity bills, while others are already fully prepared for retirement? The answer isn't luck. It's not because they were born wealthier or inherently smarter. It's because they learned to use smart financial tools, tools that can help everyday people build long-term sustainable wealth even without a six-figure income or an advanced degree in finance. In this video, we'll explore 5 powerful wealth-building tools that you can start using today, whether you're 35, 45, or even 55. These tools are simple, accessible, and proven. Millions of middle-aged Americans have already used them successfully to lay the foundation for a financially secure future.
Tool 1. Tax-advantaged retirement accounts. Many still think of retirement accounts as just a place to stash money for old age. But in reality, they are powerful wealth-building tools, thanks to the special tax advantages provided by the government. With a Roth IRA, you contribute after-tax dollars, but once that money starts growing, whether through stocks, index funds, or bonds, all the profits are completely tax-free if withdrawn after age 59 and a half. Meanwhile, the 401k lets you invest with pre-tax dollars, allowing you to defer taxes until you withdraw the money. In both cases, your wealth can grow exponentially without being eroded by annual taxes. This becomes especially important when you understand the power of compound interest. Investing just $6,000 a year at an average return of 7% for 30 years can grow to nearly $600,000. If that investment is in a Roth IRA, you can withdraw the entire amount without paying a single cent in taxes. On the other hand, if the same investment were made outside of a tax-advantaged account, you might lose 20 to 30% of your gains to taxes. That's hundreds of thousands of dollars lost simply because you didn't use the right tool. That's why wealthy individuals and those who understand money always prioritize maxing out contributions to Roth IRAs or 401ks before considering other investment options. They know these aren't just efficient ways to grow money. They're among the few legal loopholes that let you keep more of your gains long term. A common misconception is that you need to be rich before opening a retirement account. In truth, the earlier and more consistently you start, the more powerful the results, even if you can only invest a few $100s a month. You can easily open a Roth IRA through trusted platforms like Vanguard, Fidelity, or Charles Schwab and begin investing in something like the S&P 500 Index Fund, one of the most reliable, time-tested investment strategies in history. One important thing to note, there are annual contribution limits. For instance, if you're age 50 or older, you can contribute up to $7,000 per year to a Roth IRA. If you don't use that contribution space, it's gone forever, along with the tax-free growth that money could have generated. That could cost you thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars in the long run. But the value of a retirement account isn't just financial, it's also freedom. Freedom from needing to work into old age, freedom to enjoy retirement in comfort, or to help your children and grandchildren without worrying about money. When you turn 60 and look at a $500,000 Roth IRA that's completely tax-free, what you've built is more than just wealth. It's peace of mind and control over your future. Tax-advantaged retirement accounts like Roth IRAs and 401ks aren't just a good idea. They are among the most powerful and secure wealth-building tools available to middle-aged Americans. You don't need a six-figure income. You don't need to master the markets. All you need is the courage to start, the patience to stay consistent, and time to do the rest. You can't go back and change the past, but you can shape your future, starting today.
Tool 2. Index funds. Simple, high-impact investing for midlife Americans. When it comes to investing, many people in their 40s and 50s hesitate. The stock market feels volatile, financial news is overwhelming, and time is in short supply. But that doesn't mean you have to sit on the sidelines. In fact, there's one investment tool widely considered safe, stable, and highly effective over the long term, even if you have zero background in finance: index funds. An index fund is a type of passive investment fund designed to mirror the performance of a specific market index, like the S&P 500, which tracks the top 500 publicly traded companies in the U.S. Instead of trying to beat the market by picking winners and losers, index funds aim to match the market, riding the overall growth of the economy. One of the biggest advantages of index funds is their extremely low management fees. Because they don't rely on expensive teams of analysts trying to outsmart the market, these funds save significantly on costs, and those savings go straight into your pocket. While actively managed funds can charge 1% to 2% annually, index funds, from providers like Vanguard or Fidelity, often charge just 0.03% to 0.10%, while delivering equal or even better long-term results. What's more, you don't need to track the market daily. You don't need to know which stocks are rising, how interest rates are shifting, or what the latest economic policy changes mean. With index funds, you're essentially owning a slice of the entire economy, and over the long run, the U.S. economy has always grown. Over more than 100 years, the S&P 500 has delivered an average annual return of 7 to 10%, a steady and attractive return by any standard. Many of the world's wealthiest people, including Warren Buffett, have publicly endorsed index funds as the best choice for most investors. Not everyone has the time or knowledge to analyze individual stocks, but with index funds, you can start with just a few $100s, invest consistently every month, and let time do the rest. Over 10, 20, or 30 years, your initial investment can multiply, becoming a strong financial foundation by the time you retire. For midlife Americans, those thinking about their future, their children, and life after 60, index funds are an ideal solution. You don't need to become a financial expert. All you need is a simple plan. Invest regularly, stay disciplined, and be patient. The earlier you start, the more you benefit from the power of compounding, an unstoppable force that has helped millions of ordinary Americans quietly build real wealth without gambling or guesswork. Index funds are a straightforward but incredibly powerful investment tool for people in midlife. They give you safe, low-cost access to the stock market, allow your wealth to grow steadily over time, and take the stress out of day-to-day investing. In a world of complex financial options, this is a smart, sustainable way to build lasting wealth, from today all the way into retirement.
Tool 3. Emergency Fund, a critical shield to protect your wealth in midlife. When we talk about building wealth, most people immediately think of investing, stocks, real estate, retirement accounts. But few realize that one of the most important financial tools isn't about growing your money, it's about protecting what you've already worked so hard to build. That tool is the emergency fund. An emergency fund is a dedicated cash reserve, typically enough to cover 3 to 6 months of essential living expenses, that's there for you when life throws a curveball: job loss, accidents, medical emergencies, car breakdowns, or even a short-term economic downturn. Nobody wants these events to happen, but the truth is they can strike at any moment, especially in midlife, when you're supporting a family, raising kids, and planning for retirement. The core purpose of an emergency fund isn't to generate high returns, it's to prevent you from prematurely tapping into your long-term investments. Imagine you're steadily growing your portfolio in index funds or a Roth IRA, and everything's going well, until you suddenly lose your job or face a major hospital bill. Without an emergency fund, you might be forced to sell stocks when the market is down, or worse, withdraw from your retirement account and get hit with heavy taxes and penalties. That doesn't just shrink your wealth, it disrupts your entire long-term financial plan. Worse still, lacking an emergency fund can trap you in high-interest debt. You may find yourself relying on credit cards or payday loans just to stay afloat. These debts are expensive and stressful, eating into your financial stability and mental well-being. On the other hand, simply having an emergency fund kept in a high-yield savings account or stable bank account can help you weather any storm without having to liquidate investments or fall into debt. Your long-term money stays intact and continues to grow. Just as importantly, you protect your peace of mind, knowing your family is safe even when life doesn't go according to plan. Ideally, your emergency fund should come before you begin investing aggressively. Start by calculating your monthly essential expenses, rent or mortgage, food, utilities, insurance, gas. Then multiply that amount by 3 to 6. Then store that amount in a place that's easily accessible in an emergency, but not so easy that you're tempted to spend it, such as a high-yield online savings account. An emergency fund won't make you rich, but it's a rock-solid barrier that protects the wealth you're already building. As Warren Buffett famously said, rule number 1, never lose money. Rule number 2, never forget rule number 1. An emergency fund is how you apply that rule to your everyday financial life. Once you've got a consistent investment strategy and a solid emergency fund in place, you're not just on the path to financial independence, you're living with confidence and peace of mind. And that's the foundation of true wealth, not just in dollars, but in control and freedom over your life.
Tool 4. Life and Asset Insurance, a financial shield your family can't afford to ignore. One of the most common mistakes in building a financial plan is focusing solely on creating wealth while overlooking something just as important, protecting it. Especially in your 40s and 50s, when you've likely built up meaningful assets like a home, retirement accounts, and an investment portfolio, the question is no longer just, how can I grow my money, but what happens to my family if something happens to me? That's why life insurance and asset protection insurance should be considered essential parts of any long-term wealth strategy. Life insurance, at its core, is a financial safety net that supports your loved ones if you were to pass away unexpectedly. Instead of leaving behind debt, funeral expenses, or tuition bills, a life insurance policy provides your family with a lump sum payment, helping them maintain financial stability without having to sell off assets or take on high-interest debt. Many modern life insurance policies also offer a cash value component that grows over time, giving you access to a flexible source of funds in retirement or during major life emergencies. In this way, you're not just buying protection, you're also building a financial asset that can be tapped when needed most. On the other hand, asset protection insurance, including homeowners, auto, and personal liability coverage, helps shield what you've already worked so hard to build. A car accident, a lawsuit, or a natural disaster can lead to devastating financial losses if you're uninsured or underinsured. Without proper coverage, you might be forced to sell investments or withdraw from your retirement accounts just to stay afloat, jeopardizing your long-term financial future and disrupting the power of compound growth. What makes insurance so powerful isn't just its ability to cover emergency expenses. It's the role it plays in preserving your broader financial strategy. With the right coverage, you can ride out unexpected crises without touching your investments, stay on course with your retirement plan, and maintain peace of mind knowing your family is protected no matter what happens. For people in midlife, often caring for both aging parents and growing children, having appropriate insurance isn't just smart, it's an act of responsibility. It shows you're thinking ahead, not out of fear, but out of love and preparation. And while some see insurance as just another expense, it's more accurate to view it as an investment in security and stability. In a world where the unexpected can happen at any time, a good insurance policy is your financial armor, protecting you from making rushed, costly decisions in the heat of a crisis. Ultimately, life and asset insurance aren't just about managing risk. They're about protecting your wealth, your loved ones, and your long-term vision. They allow you to stay invested, avoid catastrophic financial losses, and ensure that your family is cared for even in your absence. Because real wealth isn't just about what you accumulate, it's about how well you protect what matters most.
Tool 5. Financial Automation, the quiet, steady, and sustainable path to wealth. In your 40s and 50s, life gets busy. Between work, family, and countless daily responsibilities, few people have the time or energy to constantly monitor the stock market, track every dollar, or fine-tune a financial plan. But that doesn't mean you have to give up on building wealth. Today, there's a powerful solution that allows you to grow your money quietly, efficiently, and consistently: financial automation. Financial automation means using tools like auto-investing apps, budgeting software, and expense tracking platforms to handle your most important financial tasks without requiring your constant attention. For example, you can set up a recurring transfer from your paycheck into a Roth IRA or an S&P 500 index fund. Whether you're buried in work, chasing after your kids, or enjoying a vacation, your money keeps working automatically and with discipline. These tools go beyond investing. Personal finance apps can analyze your monthly spending, flag wasteful habits, and suggest ways to improve your budget. No more spreadsheets or digging through bank statements. Everything is clearly presented so you can make smarter financial decisions without wasting precious time. But the biggest benefit of automation isn't just convenience, it's consistency. Many midlife earners struggle with financial discipline, especially when emotions get involved. Automation removes that emotional friction. You don't get swept up in market hype or panic during downturns. You invest steadily, rain or shine, and that's the secret to long-term growth. Automation also protects you from the paralysis that comes with overthinking. Countless people miss out on great opportunities because they hesitate, overanalyze, or wait for the perfect time. But when your investment plan runs on autopilot, you don't need to overthink. You stay consistent, and that consistency compounds over time. The beauty of automation is that it works for every income level and financial goal. Whether you earn $3,000 or $10,000 a month, you can build a system that saves, invests, and spends wisely while letting technology do the heavy lifting. That's how millions of Americans are quietly building wealth. They're not glued to CNBC, chasing hot stocks, or becoming financial gurus. Instead, they've built reliable systems and let time and compound growth do the rest. In the end, automation isn't just a tool, it's a strategy. It frees you from financial stress and gives you time to focus on what really matters: your life. In a world that's constantly pulling you in different directions, automation is the bridge between your financial goals and your everyday reality. You don't need to do more. You just need to do the right things, consistently and automatically. You don't need to win the lottery, start a business, or become a financial expert to build lasting wealth. Real wealth doesn't come from luck. It comes from using the right tools at the right time and sticking with them. You don't have to use every tool mentioned in this video, but pick at least one. Start small if you have to, but start today. Not someday, not when you have time. Start now, because time is your greatest ally on the path to financial freedom. The earlier you start, the sooner and safer you'll reach your destination. Your financial journey doesn't need to be loud, but it does need to be in the right direction. And that starts with one quiet, deliberate step.